What's going on, guys? Today we're at a yard. We're gonna mow it. It's a mess. It's a centipede yard. I don't really spray a lot of centipede, but I'm really gonna have to start to because I've got a bunch of guys that mow around town that are gonna have me spray their yards for them, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna have to step it up to keep up with all of it, but they've got a lot of centipede yards. I haven't really been spraying a lot. All I've got with me today is the Speed Zone Southern, so we're gonna take a look at this stuff and see if we can't get it. But this one's ate up, buddy. We're gonna have to drop the bomb on it. Let me see if I can get some of this stuff in there. But I'm gonna mow it down and hit it with the full rate of Speed Zone Southern with a good surfactant in it and see if I can't get with some of these winter annuals and get them out of this yard. All right, stay tuned. All right, when I say that I don't have to spray a lot of centipede grass, I do have some that we tend to, and generally what we do with it is we'll start at the beginning of the year. So probably in February, March, we'll put down I usually just go ahead and put down a full rate of prodiamine. A lot of people will split the rate on the pre-emergent because prodiamine is could tend to be what they call a root pruner on grass that grows mainly stoloniferous type turf. When it because the prodiamine will make a barrier on the ground basically that will keep the plants from germinating. So when these stoloniferous turfs go out and try to tack down the stolons with more roots going down in the ground off the stolon, they might tend to bounce off of that prodiamine layer. But I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I haven't seen a ton of it, but I'm sure it happens. But generally what we'll do is we'll put out pre-emergent in the early spring, and generally won't fertilize the centipede until it's 100% greened up, and usually that's by the end of May or the very 1st of June. And what I usually do for my centipede is I have a 15015 that's impregnated with atrazine, and the atrazine is a weed control. It used to have some pre-emergent properties, but I'm not so sure that that works that good anymore. And it also has 4% iron, and that'll green it up. And that's generally only nitrogen that I have to put on them. And the centipede doesn't love nitrogen. And then we'll go through the year. We'll usually aerate it at that time too. And now that we're learning about RGS, I think I'm going to work an RGS app in at the same time and fertilize it. But generally through the summer, we'll kind of keep an eye on it, and we might have to spot spray a little bit of weeds. But I've not, like I said, I've not done a lot of blanket spraying on centipede, but we're going to do this one today. Then in the fall, I'll put out 0060 on it, and maybe a pre-emergent sometime right around frost time or after frost. And that's pretty much it on centipede. We don't do a whole lot to it. Centipede seems to like you to leave it alone. It's sensitive to a lot of herbicides, so a lot of weed control companies don't like to screw with it because you can kill it in a heartbeat. And if you fertilize it with high nitrogen fertilizers, you'll see it pop out really strong at first, and you may get away with doing that routine for a year or two, and then you'll see the grass start to decline. It's called centipede decline. Yeah, centipede is just not my favorite, but you can make a good looking lawn out of it. But we're going to spray this one today with the Speed Zone Southern. The Speed Zone Southern is got a little bit of 2,4-D ester in it because centipede doesn't like 2,4-D. I think it's only like 10% in the mix, and it's also got geez, let's see, it's got dicambra. I know it's got carfentrazone in it. That's hence the zone, the Speed Zone, and all these zone products, Speed Zone Southern, Speed Zone, are going to have products like carfentrazone and sulfentrazone, things like that in it. Those will really scorch the weeds pretty quick and make it look like you've come over and done something, because it'll brown them up and curl them up really fast, but it doesn't always kill them. It just kind of makes them look like they're dead. But Usually on a Bermuda yard or something, if I was going to use the Speed Zone or the Speed Zone Southern, I would put a little spike of methylfuron methyl in it. But I don't know. I have to read up to see if Centipede will take that, so I'm not going to do that today. But when I say a little bit, I'm talking less than an ounce per acre. It's a potent herbicide, and you can really screw some stuff up with it, so be careful if you use it. But anyway, we're gonna spray this. I might see if I can figure out how to hold the camera again and get a little ride along in. But that's just a little bit on the Centipede. Thanks, guys. When you fertilize your Centipede, you want to be sure to get a half pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. Centipede does not like nitrogen, so a half pound of actual nitrogen per 1,000 square feet is what you want to use. And with a 50-pound bag of fertilizer, it's really easy to tell what your coverage will be with it, because the nitrogen number will be what the half pound rate will be. So for example, I used the 15-0-15, so the 15 for the nitrogen means that 15% of the bag is nitrogen. So a 50-pound bag will cover 15,000 square feet at a half a pound rate. On the 0060, you want to get a full pound of potassium out. So just keep that in mind too, full pound per 1,000. Centipede does not like nitrogen. Speedometer, 3 or 4 miles an hour. Right here at this place is Centipede also. I'm going to pull up a sprig and we'll take it back over out of the wind and look at it. This is the sprig of the Centipede. You can see that's the roots on it there. That's pretty good. You can see how it grows. It stretches out in these stolons, and then they tack down with the roots. And that's why aerating it or verticutting it or something will split this one big plant and make it into a bunch of little plants. But you can see it looks a little different than St. Augustine. It's narrower in the blade. This has been cut. Well, there's one that's not cut. But then it comes to a point. St. Augustine is more rounded on the end. But you see this color. We'll take it out here in this fescue, and we're going to see a color difference. Fescue looks alright, doesn't it? Okay. This what is this stuff? Centipede is never going to get this color like the fescue has. Okay guys, that's just a little bit about Centipede. Like I said, I'm not a Centipede expert. I got to step up my game though on weed control in it, because like I said, I got a whole bunch of yards to spray for some other guys that are going to be Centipede, and I don't usually blanket spray it like I said, but I'm going to have to do that for these guys, and some of them got a lot of weeds. So if you guys, I'd like to hear your programs on Centipede or any kind of weed control you use in it, as I really need to step up my game on it. But anyway, it's just a little bit about Centipede, guys. Thanks for watching.